Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back, all you gangsters. I know after that last Davi Vanity heartbreaking episode, we promised a really fun one. And so we're going to start in the incel community and kind of guide them to the outcel community, I guess. But we found a faction of men that is even more, even more...
fucked up?
Yeah, even more fucked up. I mean, and we're talking not just fucked up in the way we're incels. If you don't know, they're involuntary celibates who really believe that women owe them and that they can't get a woman. And they're really just men with extremely low self-esteem, a lot of them. But then we go deeper and deeper. We find these guys called MGTOWs. And they are men who go their own way.
Yeah, it's pretty much an organized incel community.
Yeah, really. Like, these are incels who became lawyers instead of computer programmers. And you can tell by the way that they use their words that they are very, very careful not to teeter on words like slander or libel. And they use their words very carefully. John said it the best when he said they use big words wrong. And I mean, it's just ungodly.
Yeah, they actually do use their words incorrectly. Because I've been aware of the incel or the MGTOW community for, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 years. But I've really never paid that much attention to them because I was just like, okay, well, if you want to exile yourself from the planet, go right ahead. It's not going to be a major loss.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're actually helping out evolution by not reproducing.
Right? And that's funny because it's true. I mean, the way that they view women is not only disrespectful, but it's very, I'd say...
It's like extreme misogynistic.
Right. And it's you know, they even have it. It's a man who, they have the word in their glossary as misogynist, and they say a man who honors a woman's request to be treated like a man. That is not what a misogynist is. A misogynist is a man who literally degrades women just for being women. They actively seek out a way to make it so that every woman is the enemy, no matter what. There's even levels to this shit. I mean, like, if you think of organized crime, I would put them in I would give them a RICO charge because of their hate speech. And it's crazy to me the way that they've started this off.
Yeah, and it's when you actually go in and you start reading, and there's no other way to put this. When you actually go in, you actually start reading their bullshit about what this is and who they are and everything else. It's just circles. And
just nonsense.
Yeah. And when I say that they misuse words, I mean, they literally misuse the words. Because I was reading one of their things in here about the women, or quote unquote, the women they encounter demand attention, loyalty, resource, and undue privilege while offering very little in return. Well, you continue on and you start running across their big words. Well, go look it up and then apply that to how they're using it. And you're just like, okay, you probably should have read the definition before you included it.
Right. My biggest problem with the MGTOWs is they say that most, or pretty much all women they want piggy banks for husbands. They don't want to work. They don't want to offer anything in return. But I don't know if anyone remembers this thing called like a women's rights movement. I don't know if we've ever looked into our Congress, but there are multiple women working just as hard as men to get things done. What they're saying, basically, what they're trying to say is, we hate the fact that women are trying to become equal. And that's what gets on my nerves, because these are the same guys.
Well, they want them to be equal because they want them to go out and earn their own living, because that's what they're supposed to do, because they're not going to support them. But at the same time, and this is in their website on this is literally on the MGTOW website, MGTOW.com. You go into their forum, and you can look it up for yourself. The women also belong in the home cooking and cleaning. It should only take 4 hours if they work diligently, and that includes laundry.
So what they're saying is, yes,
want it
we're
both
not
ways.
going to support you, but you have to stay home and cook and clean. Now, my question, and if any MGTOW out there is listening, I'm pretty sure we'd jump you to the head of the guest list because there are so many questions. And we wouldn't just shit on you. We'd have an actual conversation. But my one question will always be, at what point do you stop blaming women and start taking responsibility?
I mean, there's already enough hate going on in the world, and this battle between the sexes it's gone off the deep end.
Of course.
On both sides, because we've got incels and MGTOWs on one side, and we've got the extreme feminists on the other side.
And all those other radical feminists on one side, and they're both the same. And that's what cracks me up about both of these movements. They both want the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they want the same exact thing, but they're like, well, no, the way I worded it is better than the way you worded it.
Right, but it's really, but meanwhile, the rest of us who are sitting in the middle are like, okay, listen, we don't give a shit if a woman stays home. We don't give a shit if a man stays home. We don't give a shit who stays home. We just want
so long as the house doesn't burn down.
Right, yeah. Just however your household runs is how your household runs. There are plenty of people in the world who live in a household where the woman stays home, the man works. Actually, my best friend is a stay-at-home mom, and she is phenomenal as a stay-at-home mom, and her husband is an excellent provider. But then, on the other hand, we have other households where I know personally where the woman goes out to work and the man stays home, and they're both excellent at what they do. And guess what? Their kids are happy. Their kids are adjusted. Their kids aren't writing hate speech on the internet. Their kids are adjusted because their life is acceptable and they're happy. I can't imagine that that these people grew up in happy homes, because if you grow up in a happy home, you understand that it's okay to live a different life than outside of one person staying home, one person working.
To me, these guys got seriously fucked over somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. Someone did a number to them.
Somebody needs to actually sit down and let this shit go. Because so long as, and as part of the coursework that we have, if you can't let it go, you will always be trapped right where you are, and you will continue writing your little hate speech on, well, infrequently, according to this freaking forum that they've got. Because I think the last entry was, last year?
Yeah. Because I bet someone got a girlfriend. And that's the best part about these communities, is what happens is this, and this goes for radical feminists, this goes for anyone on either side of that radical bullshit ass ideas, all those ideas, all that ideology right there. Once you find someone who makes you happy, you realize everything you say is total bullshit. Even if you're a MGTOW who finds a woman who stays at home, who cooks, who cleans, who does all those things, she's going to want to go out with her friends. And guess what you're going to say? Okay, sweetie, have a great time. Here's $50.
Yeah.
Because you're an idiot and you're hurt.
Well, that would be unless he's MGTOW level 5.
Oh, yes. MGTOW. We should probably explain what the MGTOW is, or your levels. If you guys are ready for
levels.
This is fun.
Yeah,
John, you would be level 0, just so you know. Like, you are a classic red pill or blue pill, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm blue pill all the way.
Like, team blue pill.
Yeah, because this is okay. This is how we know that these are like organized incels. One, they actually have like their own site, but it's discombobulated and all this other stuff. But they actually have like levels that they can go through, and there's 6 levels, but you have a level 0. So level 0 is a blue pill. Now this is men who got married after the year 2000. So if you're married December 31st, 1999, you're safe. And they are oblivious to how poorly society treats men. They are female utilities, ATMs, and like automated teller mail. That's according to their glossary. You can go to their glossary, and it's full of additional bullshit. Simps, manginas, and white knights. So that's a level 0. So you are totally oblivious to how society and women treat you. Now, level 1, these are the aware MGTOWs. Now, they reject marriage, cohabitation of any sort, which might be classified as common law marriage, picking up women for a single mother's children, or any action which might be used in court to turn him into her legal indentured servant. But they may still engage in long-term relationships with strict guidelines on females.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What guidelines?
Well, you have to read the handbook.
Well, I guess, yeah. Oh, there are books, by the way.
Sure
You can
there
buy
are.
books. They're available on Google and Amazon and Goodreads and every place else. Most of them have like low ratings.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
There's the MGTOW minimalist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is probably that's probably level 6, or level 5. So level 3, right? Is that where we are?
We are on level 2.
Oh yeah, sorry, level 2. They count level 0 as the red pill. So John, you are less than a man. Just so you know, you are level 0 MGTOW. Level 2 MGTOW, the social
actually,
MGTOW.
if you look at these, level 0 to level 3, those are all blue pill. You have to be level 4 or level 5 to be red pill. I mean, that's when see the truth.
That's when you get it. Yeah, wait till you get to level 4, guys. So level 2, social MGTOW rejects all form of long-term relationships with women. They only engage in sex, flings, and short-term open relationships with women. They are pseudo pickup artists.
Which pisses me off.
They only use females for sexual purposes. Now, I don't know what you call it where you're from, but I believe we call them womanizers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But the pseudo PUA, I mean, no. Coming from that world and understanding that world, the vast majority of those guys actually have respect for women.
And even if they're not looking at relationships with women and they're looking at short-term or open relationships, because by the way, I'd like to make this clear for everybody, you can be in a long-term relationship that's open, and that's something between you and your partner.
I know a guy who, actually one of the guys who trained me, he is married in an open relationship.
It does not make you any less of a man or a woman. That is what you decide. And that's, I guess, one of my other core fundamental problems with radical relationship ideology is that what happens in your house should happen in your house, and anything, number one, it shouldn't really be anyone's business, but it's nothing to be ashamed of either. Yeah. So where are we, level 3? Civil MGTOW. Now this is the civil one, guys. We're getting closer to the red pills. So this is the final stage before you graduate.
Cross over.
Right. Before you fully
go to
swallow
the dark
that
side.
red pill. You're right here. So this could be you. Rejects all form of personal relationships with women, including dating, one-night stands, friendships, etc. Any contact with unfamiliar women is kept strictly professional and at a minimum. Some MGTOWs might have very few exclusive, close, platonic female friends. However, they're selected based on high intellect and loyalty. These MGTOWs will only engage in civil activities that benefit themselves and the community.
Yeah.
You know what? That actually sounds like a good person.
Yeah.
They have civil relationships.
Civil relationships, yeah. But like we were discussing earlier, how does he get along with his mom? He keeps it strictly professional and at a minimum.
It's unreal, man.
Yeah.
Unreal. John, I think you should read the next 2 because I don't want MGTOWs to call me a CUNT.
Well, I mean, that they kind of brought that upon themselves.
Right.
But yeah, the ghost MGTOW rejects females entirely, refuses to produce more than strictly necessary for his individual survival. He will do as much work off the books as possible to avoid taxation. Which, okay, if you want to go to prison for tax evasion,
like
there you go.
You're a criminal too, motherfucker.
Yeah. Will remain in the lowest tax bracket possible without jeopardizing his quality of life and acceptable standard of living. Focuses on hobbies and traveling. Okay.
That just sounds like a single man in his 20s.
Sounds like the Unabomber.
No. The next one sounds like the Unabomber, dude. I know a lot about the Unabomber because Ted Kaczynski.
Well, yeah, I've actually studied him, but
he's got a very good manifesto out there.
Yeah, I mean, actually, he kind of sounds like Ted Bundy. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, you're right. Like, if we were gonna rate this as a serial killer, yeah, we should do that. We should go from blue pill to red pill and level of serial killer.
Yeah, because that's what he did. I mean, he pretty much did a lot of traveling until he was arrested the first time, escaped, and then he did some more traveling and got arrested again.
And he literally abused women throughout the whole period. So, I mean, and he focused on his hobbies and he traveled. Yeah, you're right. This is that Ted Bundy shit right here, man. Like, good God.
Yeah. I mean, he was a ghost MGTOW.
Who knew? Now we figured it all out. We've just cracked the case, people.
Yeah. So, okay, level 5. Okay. These people have gotten the PhD in MGTOW.
You're going full Unabomber.
Yeah, they're the exile MGTOWs. They drop out of society altogether, minimizes contact with the blue pill world, so anybody level 3 and below, and seeks to further his own ends on his own terms.
That's literally what
sounds fucking weird.
Terrorists say, dude. That's literally some Waco shit right there, man.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
For all intents and purposes, he does not exist.
Nope.
An urbanite might keep to his own apartment, while someone further out may simply head into the wilderness and go off grid.
Serial killers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found the exact definition of a fucking serial killer. Yeah. A level 5 MGTOW.
But my question is, so somebody comes and knocks on a level 5's door, does he like open it a little bit and goes, what level are you? I'm level 3. Goodbye.
Do they have badges? Oh, how cute would that be? If they had badges, they showed each other, like, are you level 3? Oh, no, you can't sit with us. You know, like, oh my God.
Yeah, they would take the little weird symbol here with the, I don't know, it looks kind of like a street sign. What does it? Does it have no lines? You're level 0. Level 2, you got like 2 little lines. And level 4, it goes from blue to red.
Like chevron. Picture like the Air Force or maybe the Army too. Picture the armed services with chevrons. You have, cause I imagine these guys wear a lot of camo. I can't stress enough how I already know what a level 5 MGTOW looks like. And it's someone who will ask you for money on the street. Yeah. You're talking homeless.
They can't ask you for money.
That's true. That's true.
A level 4 possibly can, but a level 5 can't.
Cannot. He only asks men.
Yeah, because he doesn't exist.
Yeah, and he, the reason that his life is so hard is because women are treated like human beings. And that's basically what they're rejecting, is the idea of women being treated like human beings. There's no, like I said, there is nothing wrong fundamentally with wanting your wife to stay home. There's nothing wrong with coming up with that agreement with a woman.
If that's what she wants, that's what she wants.
Right. But to think that there's only one way to live your life is why fundamental radicals are so bizarre to me, because I don't think there's anything wrong with how they want to live their lives. They think there's something wrong with how I want to live mine. I'm happy. I'm not the one writing 70-page manifestos about why women are shit or why men are shit. I am literally happy. They're not happy. So at what point is it that you realize my ideology is making me fucking miserable?
Actually, I think that's what they enjoy, is wallowing in their misery. Because the reason they can't enter into a relationship is because the women want all this stuff. And, oh my gosh, if we actually enter into a real relationship, I might have to be involved in that stuff and adjust to what your desires are. Well, it's a two-way street. They have to adjust to you as well. I'm a friggin' workaholic. Okay, I'm constantly even in my leisure time, I am working. I mean, I watch TV shows and movies and stuff that revolve around my work. So even my leisure time is work. I've always done that. It didn't matter what I did. I've always, if I took on a project, I studied that project so friggin' in depth that I could talk for hours on it.
Right? And that's such a good point. You have to be willing to accept, yeah, you're right. They do enjoy being miserable because they want it one way. There's no compromise in their lifestyle, which to me, they're missing out. Like, they're missing out on the beauty of actually being in a relationship. There's one part of their dating forum. I think, guys, we went through a lot of this shit, but some of it we couldn't stay with because it was just...
Actually, I've physically got nauseous.
Yeah, it's sickening. I mean, and it's not, like I said, I respect people's different ideologies. I truly do. I truly believe everybody deserves to live the way they want to. But the way they speak about women is so repulsive and so misguided.
It's like they literally want us to go back to like the 1800s.
Right.
I mean,
that's exactly what they want.
The world doesn't progress that way. I mean, you can't go back in time. And every time it has been tried, it has failed miserably.
Imagine that.
Yeah. I mean, there is no like reset button somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, we fucked up. Reset. It's not a video game. You don't get a do-over. Yeah,
it's true, man. You don't get a do-over. So what do you think, because I know you're in the pickup artist world, you come from the pickup artist world. Have you ever encountered any MGTOWs?
Yes. Well, not formalized MGTOWs like this, but I've run across incels and retraining them and trying to reset their mindset is extremely frustrating. It got to the point that I really didn't even want to try to work with the person anymore.
That's actually what I was going to ask you next. If somebody came in with this ideology, would you be like, dude?
It's almost like a personal mission is how I look at it. Because if I can show them what they are doing wrong, it can really change their life. And we got one less person contributing to this bullshit. Because every person that joins this type of movement, if you want to call it that, is one more person that is adding to the hate that is currently taking place. Because, I mean, we've got class warfare, we have racial warfare, we have sexist warfare. I mean, everybody is battling each other. We got straights versus gays and gays versus gays and straights versus straight.
It's a mess, yeah,
it's a mess. I mean, everybody is battling against each other, and the country is like literally falling apart. And everybody's blaming everybody else for why it's falling apart. I mean, you got the Republicans versus Democrats, conservatives versus liberals. I mean, everybody's fighting for the same thing, but they're going in totally different directions.
Well, I wouldn't say everybody's fighting for the same thing. Everybody's fighting so that their side wins, which is ridiculous because in a world where we are progressive enough to like have black people and white people eat at the same table, why would we not want men and women to eat at the same table? The problem is they're pushing for their entire ideology to be how the world should be. And I'm pushing for everyone to just kind of enjoy their lives. If you are a man or a woman who wants to go off in the woods and build your own cabin, that's fine. It's when you start writing fucking angry manifestos and sending pipe bombs. That's where the problem lies.
Yeah. Really what I mean by fighting for the same, we all want the future to be better than what it currently is.
Right.
But how you go about doing that, that's really where as far as political concerns are, that's where the divide happens. How are they going to do that? But this bullshit between MGTOWs and feminists, y'all need to fucking chill the fuck out. Is what you need to do.
Out. Yeah, you guys just need to sleep with each other because I feel like that's what some of you need. You just need to get laid, and I think a lot of them are probably going to listen and say, "Oh no, that's not what we need." You know, I get laid plenty. I mean, you need to engage in
that's actually in their about section.
Oh, I read that. They're like, you know who's not getting laid? Boyfriends and husbands. And I did laugh audibly because it's very funny. Some of the stuff they say is fucking hilarious.
Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the fourth paragraph from the bottom. Let's see. where can I actually start on this thing without having to read this all this crap?
This is the one that says, "Are you guys just men who don't get any?"
No, this is men haven't lost their need to find happiness.
Oh, okay.
Just be careful when you guys are reading this stuff, because you will actually literally feel yourself become more stupid. Let's see. Okay.
And if you truly believe this way, if you really believe that society is not being fair towards men, I'd urge you to pretty much go through history. And here's what's happening, and this happens with any sort of equality shift. When men had all the power, which is a thing that happened, whether you believe it or not.
For centuries.
Right. For centuries, except for in China. China was like, fuck that. That bitch is going outside too to fight. Like, but what happens is this, and this is any power shift. You see these women rise to power. You see them becoming, quote unquote, better than you, or being in a position that you think you should be in. So you blame the fact, not the fact that you need to fucking work harder. You blame the fact that women are being, affirmatively, you believe in affirmative action, which is a true thing. But affirmative action only happens for so long before women are actually qualified. And there are pretty good lawyers out there that are fucking women.
Yeah.
In case you forgot.
Well, there's actually been country leaders. So.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Not if you live in the woods.
Not so much but yeah, there have been women who have been leaders of countries.
I mean, like the queen? Well, she's not like she's more like a figurehead or.
Well, no, I mean, there was prime ministers and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, because
there's presidents. I mean, I think not too long ago there was the Philippines. The president was a female.
Yep, Imelda. Fuck.
Yeah,
I can't remember her last name. Her name is Imelda, but regardless.
Yeah, but this little sentence right here. Okay, so they're talking about men and all this other shit. Okay, risking our lives to conquer resources for some ungrateful women who claim she can do it on her own is an empty way to live. What? Okay, we haven't changed the mission. We've changed the method. We now provide for ourselves and our immediate families. Well, if you're level 5 for 4, you don't have families. Protect our interests, make selective sacrifice when the situation warrants, and conquer mountains of poon.
Oh my god.
Well, you can't do that if you're level 3 or above. So really, you can't. God. What they're talking about, they actually cancel out in other areas. So this whole thing is like round robin.
Bullshit,
they tried figuring all this stuff out, and pretty much they're saying, well, you can do this, but if you are a true believer, you can't do it. But according to what we are about, you can.
I am giving this a 10 out of 10 in mental gymnastics, because it takes a lot of fucking mental gymnastics to be okay with any of this. Because what they're saying is the literal thing that people in consensual happy relationships do. That's what kills me, is that they think they're being radical when really what they're saying is we're fucking miserable and we just want to meet someone that makes us happy. And once you meet that person, guess what? All that bullshit ideology goes out the window, because everyone who's been in love can tell you that sometimes love means compromising a little bit.
Yeah, because, when I was in their little dating forum place.
Good God.
Yeah, this is where I literally started feeling nauseous. There was one... I forget which one I clicked on. There aren't very many of these. I take that back. There's 98 fucking pages here.
Mm-hmm. 98 pages of bullshit and throwing temper tantrums.
But there was one in here, and they were talking about how, it's a video, and the inequality of the dating world. It's on YouTube. You can probably look it up.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch that because I couldn't physically, to be honest with you. Yeah. It made me nauseous.
But they're sitting there and they're talking about, or they got these selective clips from these pretty much female talk shows like The View and other places like that. And they're going through, and I guess the topic of the day was dating or relationships. And they're saying, this is my perfect man. So they'd flash up, or they'd describe it, then they'd flash up a picture of somebody completely opposite. So broad shoulders, and they'd show little skinny guy. Muscular, and they'd show a little guy, and 6 foot tall, and they show like a short person. All right, so I was like, what the fuck? Okay, guys do that too. We want big breasts, small hips, we want the athletic body, and we want this, we want that. We do the exact same thing, so what the fuck?
These are men, much like women, on the feminist side, who no longer want to be seen as your typical male. It's the same exact thing. They don't want to be seen as a guy who has to provide for the wife. They don't want to be seen as all those things. They want to be able to be themselves. Everything about this entire world screams, help me, pay attention to me. I just want to be myself and find someone who makes me happy. That is all I hear whenever I read any of this bullshit, because that's what it is. That's what they're saying. They're the same thing as radical feminists. And if those two sat in a conversation together, I bet you they'd fall in love, because they both sound stupid, and they could probably come to the idea that it's okay to want to be yourself. That's what this whole fucking comes down to. It's people wanting to be whoever they want to be. And that's what the people in the middle are fucking advocating for. God, they're so counterproductive, you know? It's just so counterproductive. This whole concept, this quasi.
Some of their discussions that they have, I mean, it is like otherworldly. If there's another screenwriter out there looking for a good comedy, here you go. Because I could probably sit down and make a friggin' movie out of this stuff. And
that would be a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah. The inequality of the dating market. Okay. So that's, if you want to look this stuff up, there you go. Go out to YouTube and you'll find it posted. They just
I'm almost
embedded
allergic
the video.
To these people.
I am allergic to these people because the whole thing is they don't know what they're looking for. They just have like this general. Well, no, they have like this general concept, but that's it. And they probably got all kinds of stuff that is out of whack. How they act, how they talk, how they walk, how they dress, congruity. I mean, it's all out of whack. So yeah, completely. Nobody's going to be attracted to them. Nobody's going to want to. You said what? I mean, right. Yeah. You want me to what? I mean, and really, when I looked over all of this, they're taking like a very small subset category of women and classifying all of them as that. Pretty much gold diggers. That's what they're looking at.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. And they have been burned. They've either been burned by many a women or one woman they really fucking love. And they just can't get over it. They can't get over it.
They had a crush on him and the girl's like, get the fuck away from me, you weird motherfucker.
And okay, let me just clear this up. There's nothing wrong with a transactional relationship where you guys, one person has all the money, the other person is having sex with them. There's nothing wrong with these relationships inherently. If you both agree that this is what you want, the trophy wife or the trophy husband is not anything wrong. Transactional relationships are valid relationships. It's just that not everyone wants them. I'm not into transactional relationships because I feel weird. Just currently getting paid for my sexual, desire. Yeah. I mean, I think I should be paid for them, but I would feel weird if someone left a 20 on the counter. And it's not my style, but it could be someone else's. Who gives a shit? That's the thing. Like I said, who gives a shit? You are more than welcome to have any sort of fucking relationship you want.
Yeah. So long as that's what you guys agreed upon. I mean, that's really it. Go out on a first date. What kind of relationship are you looking for?
Right.
I mean, long-term, short-term, what? I mean, now, if they're like, short-term, cool, me too. Okay. You pretty much understand what is going to take place from there. And maybe long-term's in the cards. Maybe. We don't know. But for the moment, yeah, we're only looking at a couple of months.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just define your relationship. I guess the moral of this story, that is the MGTOW debacle is that these are just radical feminists with penises, and they are the same exact people. And the sooner that they all realize that we don't give a shit as, centrists who don't really care how people indulge in their relationship, and once they realize that there's probably a woman out there for them, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but they need to settle the fuck down and get rid of... I am not joking. There are books out there on this stuff, because there was the predatory female this is like the MGTOW Bible. And
the predatory female.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so it is a field guide to dating and the marriage/divorce industry, written by Reverend Lauren Shannon.
You lost me. Like, as soon as I read anything relationship based by a reverend, I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She's a transformed wife. She's basically cancer, in my opinion. But once I read that, I'm done, because they're not considering anything. They're not thinking about human beings. They're thinking about their biblical ideology, and that's it. Whereas, like I said, most people in the center see people as people and not as objects, or as working, work cows or brood mares. Like, we see people as people. So, I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Well, this thing right here is supposed to be the ultimate men's guide to women, dating, marriage, and divorce. Predatory female has become a manosphere classic, saving lives and wallets of countless men. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been in some really good relationships that weren't expensive.
All of my relationships aren't that expensive.
I don't know.
What gets me is that, okay, this was published first in the early 90s, but in order to be a little level 0, you couldn't have gotten married before 2000. So...
It's a conundrum, I'm telling you, man. That's straight up mental fucking gymnastics. Everything they do is mental gymnastics just to convince themselves they're correct.
Yeah, but I'm looking at, let's see, Bachelor Pad Economics, The Manipulated Man, MGTOW, a Minimalist Guide, MGTOW, Building Wealth, Men on Strike, MGTOW, Why I Cheat.
Oh, God. There we go.
There you go.
There's women out there who are into open relationships. You see how that works? They're just idiots all the time.
How to live in a car, van, or RV. Okay, so there's your level 4s.
How to live in a car. I can probably rate that book right now. Get in car. Put stuff in car. Shower in gym. Get gym membership. Yeah, right. Yeah. Go to cliff. Jump off. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, dude?
MGTOW, dealing with women. The sovereign man. No wife, no problem. MGTOW. Well, there's another guide. How to survive in the office as a MGTOW, or office guide, office rules. I mean, this is like, oh my gosh.
How to be human, conduct yourself. What the fuck? Conduct yourself as a human being. That's what all those things are. I can write all those books in one sentence. Be fair to everybody. Don't be an asshole. Oh my goodness. I should be a best-selling author. Put that on the New York fucking Times bestseller list.
Actually, that'd probably qualify you for a Pulitzer.
Right? Like, yeah, in their fucking community, I swear to God. Like, just, oh my God. People, stop giving into this shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for it. If you know your own value and you know what you can offer, and you can do that congruently, it's really not that difficult.
Yeah, you're already pretty much there.
Yeah, you're pretty much there. And yeah, as far as setting boundaries, whoa, holy shit, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm actually talking about what is actually in our course. Whoa. Right. Yeah, be able to set some boundaries, know your value, know what you offer, know what your setbacks are, know how to put all that together so that you're not sending up red flags such as, well, this entire fucking community. And wow, oh my gosh, people are actually going to pay attention to you. They'll actually listen to you. They'll respect you. And that goes for both men and women, because the rules really don't change.
Imagine that.
There's like very subtle differences between how a guy approaches and how a woman approaches. And the approaches that we have work for both. Oh my gosh.
You mean to tell me?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I can do the same thing. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Hi.
You can. Right. Really, seriously, like, and it's not even that we're trivializing. It's just, guys, this is very simple stuff, and we're teaching it to you. And if you check it out, you'll understand that everything is very easy to do. You just have to understand how to do it and what order. Once you get the order down, you're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, there's some preliminary work that you actually have to do in order to figure out what your strength is. And we're not talking about going out and benching 210. I really don't fucking
we're
care.
Talking about like mental fortitude.
Yeah, we're talking about mental fortitude, being able to knowing what your natural strengths are. And once you know that, then you know the value that you can actually offer to a relationship. We've also figured out a way of being able to tell you what you lack in a relationship.
It's very true.
Yeah. So if you know those...
We've read a lot of materials.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's... When we say we've delved into psychology and the actual science behind this stuff, it's tons of books and journals. And what was that one that you read? It was like over 1,000 pages or something.
Yeah. It was like 1,000. I can't even remember the name of it. It was like a crazy case study, though. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. But all of this stuff. And once you understand that, and this stuff is like, it's not just hypothesis and theories. No, they've actually proven this stuff time and time and time again. And it's universal, so it doesn't matter if you're in Maine or Arizona, Florida, Canada, Germany, Australia, or China. It doesn't matter. It's universal. So for the MGTOWs that are actually sitting there going, well, what about foreign women?
It's pretty universal. We've got you covered, buddy. Listen, if you think women are the devil, we've got you covered. I promise.
And for the women that think that men are the devil, well, yeah, some of us actually are, but...
we still got you covered, too.
Still got you covered,
too. We promise.
Yeah. Actually, that kind of... Okay, so if women were, like, in charge of the world, would missiles and submarines look different?
Yeah, they'd be like... Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. The Eiffel Tower would be more like a tub of... yeah, it would be very interesting. That's a good question. That's one for the scholars.
Yeah, that's for the philosophers out there.
Right. There's somebody right now engaged in that kind of conversation because that's what we do as humans.
I think the weirdest philosopher that I ever came across was trying to actually... This is no joke. There's like a big-ass, huge team of philosophers out there trying to define and find the definitive answer to what is the number one. What is one?
Yeah, I've heard philosophical debates like that, and it's like that's not philosophical. That's just
mind bending for
right. You're not philosophizing. You're not discovering anything philosophical. You're just asking dumb questions. Philosophy is supposed to contribute to society. Knowing what number one is like saying what is a number.
That was one of those that.
See, yeah. I call that time-wasting philosophy.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, this whole MGTOW movement, if you weren't aware of it, well, there you go. Now you're aware of it, and it is an anti-feminist movement that is mostly online. And some of these people, they actually separate themselves from society. And at least the part of society that they see that is harmful to them. So, to me, I really don't care. I mean, you want to remove yourself from the gene pool? Go right ahead. Because that just leaves one extra person for me.
Stop womanizing. Yeah, just stop womanizing. I mean, honestly, if you feel like women are the reason society's so fucked, that's fine. I can't change your mind on that. But at least you could be a decent human being and not be a womanizer. If you're going to just use women for sexual exploits, I mean, at least find one, or like just don't be such a dick about it. Don't be so self-righteous and don't act like you're doing the world a favor by womanizing. You're not. If
You're
anything, you're making it worse.
I actually knew a guy, he would actually just walk up and, you want to fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, and
do that.
Yeah. And yeah, sometimes he walked away with a bruised face, but sometimes they're like, okay. I mean, it worked for him. I mean, I never had that much courage. I mean, I just didn't. I have too much respect. I can't do that. But some guys can.
I can. I'm big. Let's get it out. Let's figure out what this is real quick kind of person. So, boom. I'll ask a question. But guys, as always, I believe the next show we do it'll be more fun. Maybe we'll take some questions. We'll go old school on your butts. But, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. If you want to know about incels, well, here's the organized incel community. And yeah, just for informational purposes, yeah, the incel, that was actually started by a female. I think it was in 1993. So her name was Alana. So yeah, all you guys out there that are against women, well, you're actually part of a group that was started by a woman. Whoa.
Congrats.
Yeah. Don't believe me? The BBC reported on it.
So. Congratulations. You have just disproved your entire movement. So, as always, we are here. We are excited to talk to you. We had our best month ever in March, so it was pretty awesome to see that you guys are either super bored in quarantine, or everyone's starting to realize that this is an awesome show. I would like to think of the latter.
Yeah, we're just an awesome show. But yeah, there you go. If you want more information on this stuff, just all you have to do is just type in MGTOW and investigate to your heart's delight. Just the only thing I ask is don't contribute to it. Don't keep your sanity about you.
Yes, be vigilant. Also, be on the lookout for these people, because I believe, and this is a personal belief, I don't necessarily think it's true, I think a lot of MGTOWs are liars, and I think what they'll do is they'll pretend like they're not MGTOWs and literally use it to womanize.
Yeah, they'll rationalize. I mean, that's my biggest thing, is that a lot of these people, like when I was training I had some incels come through and trying to work with them. Now, if they were like true believers, yeah, it was like, yeah, you got to go, because we're not training you. Your ideology, we're not giving you that kind of power. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. But for those that were like, it makes sense, I'm not exactly sure kind of people, we'd start them off slow and not really teach them a whole lot, but just kind of test them and see where their mindset is at. You had to be very careful.
Yep.
Because you can slip in and stuff starts making sense, but you have to be vigilant and look for the half-truths.
Exactly. And the mental gymnastics. If something doesn't seem right, it's not right. But guys, as you go into your quarantine, because I'm sure this will come out, we'll all still be COVID quarantined. Keep in mind, we have like 49 other shows, because I do believe this is our 50th show, if I'm not crazy. But I do believe it is. We have 49 other shows. Binge listen. I was going to say binge watch. Binge listen to the show. Rate, review, subscribe. Email us. Let us know how we're doing. And, yeah, that's all I got.
That's pretty much all we got. And hopefully we will be able to return back to our normal release schedule. It's been really hectic. We've not only with the whole corona thing that's currently going on. I really hate dating our shows, but hey, this is what's currently happening. But on top of that, it's been a lot of work, not only on getting the course ready to launch here very soon, but also redesigning the website, getting the clothing lines set up, because we do have not only our own brand, but hey, you can actually go out and design your own. We actually have those resources ready for you as well.
This is very true.
Yeah. So if your clothes are not fitting and you're tired of wearing what everybody else can possibly purchase around you, go to our website, go to the shop, and you will see it custom clothing. Click on that link, and women, you will be able to design dresses, skirts, blouses, tops, suits, jackets, coats, pretty much everything inside your wardrobe. Guys, you're going to be able to do the same thing, and it's not going to break the bank. I mean,
Nope.
Yeah, you need an evening gown. Go design an evening gown. You just want a regular work dress or summer dress or whatever kind of dress. Go ahead. Jeans, pants, you name it, it's there.
So go design your clothes. Always, if you order something, make sure you take a picture, post it on your social media, hashtag Girls Ask Guys Show, because we want to see what you look like in our clothing in the least weird way possible.
Yeah, make sure it's decent. That's all I ask. Make sure it's decent.
I mean, if it's not, just send it to the DMs and we'll handle accordingly. But yes, please, for public purposes, please make sure it's decent.
Yeah, don't hashtag us if you're going to be posting indecent stuff. Yes, we are adult themed show, but we don't need to go that adult.
Yeah, that's between you and God.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, we will talk to you on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.